Welcome to the Football Historian Podcast.
By all means, enjoy it.
He will go right to the very top.
Dos, tres, cuatro times.
Here we go, Germans.
I will turn these results round.
All right, that's good manners.
There's animosity, but there's no fight.
If you can't beat them, join them.
How do you make me feel sick if I look at you?
No, I want to fight here. Don't drink, don't sleep with women, don't drive fast cars.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit too!
Hello, welcome to the Football Historian Podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Cole Fraser. I've started with a new question. It sounds a bit harsh, but I just think this is... I feel like all good interviewers have like an opening things. This is mine. Who are you and why are you here?
Well, I'm here because you asked me to come in. I don't know. Well, I work for Bongo's Bingo. My stage name is Slutty Susie. If you've not been to Bongo's Bingo before, I wear a green dress and a blonde wig and stockings and bounce around. I don't really know. That's hard to explain.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, Bongo's Bingo is where I was going to start.
Yeah.
I think I was going through the Instagram before. I apologise.
No worries.
I won't bring up any bad bits that you told me not to then. 2016, Leeds. Was that your first show? Was that correct?
It was, yeah.
So just maybe that show first, and then how did it happen, and where did it come about?
Do you know what? Literally, I'd been down to the bingo a few times. Obviously, Johnny had started it. Before he'd started it, he used to do a pub quiz in town, which I used to go to a lot. So when I'd seen he was doing a new event, I was like, I'll go down to that. Like, everyone loves a bit of bingo as well. And it was just class, like the energy in the room, and obviously everyone's just getting smashed on that, which I enjoy as well. And I think I'd bumped into Johnny a few weeks before my first show out in town and was saying, like, if you ever need someone to do that, I'd be up for it. Like, because I used to just go around town and get drunk and dance around and stuff. And I was in work one day. I was working in a hostel on Stanley Street. I come out to work and had a message off him. I was like thinking, why has he messaged me? Like, why has Johnny Bongo messaged me? And he was, he just said, like, oh, I remember you saying you wanted to go. We need a dancer. One of the dancers broke the leg. Do you want to do a show on Leeds on Wednesday? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. So then literally just turned up and went on. It was class, like, but I don't even know why I'm going to tell this story. Like, but the night before, I'd had my first ever pill. So I was on a massive come down. I don't know why I'd done that the night before my first show. So I turned up. I remember Johnny being like, I thought you were full of energy and that. And I was like, I'll get there eventually. I just got well-aid and then went on stage, like. And that was the first time I ever done it.
So is that still your pre-match ritual now? Have you changed that?
I don't do pills the night before anymore, like, but we still get smashed before it, yeah.
Well, just life before bingo as well, as I was going to the Instagram, said a love for Justin Bieber, Slaters, working in Ladbrokes and in the uni days. So what was your life like before you were dressed up as a fairy on stage?
Do you know what? Apart from the going on stage bit, it was probably very similar. I was just out a lot all the time. Like, loads of me good mates work in town and bars, like manage bars, so I'd just always be out in bars with them. Yeah, it was just we lived like bachelors kind of thing. Like, me and another mate Wes, we lived together, and it was just we'd literally just be out like 5 nights a week, getting smashed, dancing around. It wasn't too dissimilar, to be fair, apart from the actual going on stage bit.
Yeah, and then we'll go back to that first night that you do it. Are you wearing the famous outfit then, or what are you wearing? What were you initially doing?
Johnny had asked me to turn up at Smithy's and meet him at 2:00. So I was getting there for 2, and then he messaged me at 10. Oh no, he must have messaged me half an hour before saying actually meet me at 10 to. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get there for 10 to. So when I got there, he was still outside with Smithy's bag and just a big smile on his face, and I was like, oh. And he got me like some kind of Rocky Horror. It was like stockings and like knickers and like a see-through kind of, I don't even know what it was, like this kind of waistcoat. Yeah. So that's what I had to wear the first time. Bear in mind as well, the lead show is just students. I was like 27 at the time, I think. It was just a room full of 18-year-olds. And I was like on a come down and I had to walk on the stage like that. I was like...
Yeah, felt a bit dodgy.
Yeah, was it?
But it nerves, is it not like the most nerve-wracking thing ever?
That first time I was really nervous, yeah. I think just because of all the circumstances as well and what I was wearing. But it doesn't bother me now. Like, even sometimes, like some of the lads, if we were doing like a bigger show, I would go in somewhere that we've never been before. They'll get a bit nervous, but I'm just buzzing to get on the stage, like I always have been. But yeah, it's a lot better now. I got the green dress a few weeks later. I think I turned up to a show and they were like, had it for me, and I was like, thank God you changed that for me. Like, but
bit like, yeah, it's probably the first person that's been grateful to be dressed up as a fairy.
Yeah.
Well, I've just worried about that we haven't really fully explained what it is. It's just so I'm fully aware. I've been many times.
Yeah.
But like, it's Johnny Bongo does bingo, and you're there to hype the crowd up.
Basically, yeah. Like, I sometimes I don't know how to explain my role without someone actually coming and seeing it. Because I'm just saying I'm on stage in a dress and a wig, and obviously hyping the crowd up, dancing, but we use the term dancer very loosely because there's no train. I've had no training or anything. I just dance around. I've got a few moves, like, you know what I mean? But quintessentially, it is bingo.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think that, as you say there, it's one of them that, like, your mum, your auntie, your nan, everyone likes it, and you try and explain it, and you sound like a weirdo, and then they go, and then everyone gets it straight away. So.
Well, when I just started, my dad had seen, like, must have seen on Instagram or Facebook or something that I was doing it, and I remember him getting in touch and being like, "What are you doing, dancing around on stage in a dress? Like, what's going on?" So obviously, I had another job at the same time, and then when Johnny had asked me to do it full time, and I just quit my job straight away. I rang my dad and was like, "Oh, I've been asked to do this bingo thing," and he was just like, "Do not quit your job." And I was like, "Oh, I got to do that." Like, so, but now he loves it though. He comes down all the time as well.
He was laughing now.
Exactly, yeah.
And then injuries, you took over there because of a broken leg. What's the worst injury you've had doing it?
Do you know what? All I've ever done is touch wood. I've rolled a few ankles, like quite badly, like really bruising. But I only ever like miss one day, and I'll just go back on if you strap it up and go back on. It's a bit of a business where like the show must go on kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like if you get an injury and there's no one there to do it, just go on no matter what. Like a few painkillers and work away.
And then obviously you said there as well, a lot of the atmosphere around it is drinking.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people watching will have had a hangover. I'm sure you've had to perform again on a hangover.
Yeah.
What's the worst experience you've had where you think, I really can't do this today, and then obviously still have to do it?
There's probably been quite a few, you know. I think if we've done a show the night before and then we're getting up early to travel, that's the worst. Like, and say, like, we used to do shows back in the day. We used to do, like, we'd go from, say, Newcastle to Birmingham, and we'd literally do a show in Newcastle. Bearing in mind, we'd done like the 3 nights before as well. Get up in the morning, get in a van to go to Birmingham, and you'd just be like, this is the worst thing ever. But once, I think because we're all in the same kind of boat, and we're all a bit like, nah, come on, like, it'll be good. And then once we've had a few drinks before it, and then we're like, it's weird. Like, from the space of 2 hours before the show, when you're just like, I really cannot, like, be bothered getting on stage. And then just before it, where you're like absolutely buzzing, and people like around just like going, how have you just changed from that what you were earlier? But like, yeah.
Yourself. I remember just watching like Johnny's Instagram stories, and just like you'd go to the Liverpool one on the Friday, and then you'd watch it on the Tuesday or the Wednesday.
Yeah,
still on that, like the cars you say, I used to stay on air for years.
But we always laugh, like, sometimes when we used to do like shows in the week, and like we could just imagine people sitting in an office, like, going on Instagram and just seeing us on a Tuesday afternoon, just absolutely smashed. Like,
yeah. Well, it's I think for some it's the dream, but at the same time it sounds like a bit of a nightmare.
It's hard work as well. Yeah. Like, I mean, I couldn't do what we used to do anymore. I only do like one show a week now, really.
Yeah.
It's hard on the liver, like.
Well, obviously it's grown a lot. It started in the camp from Fraser, and as you say there, you were going to Leeds.
We don't mention their name anymore.
But what's the best place that it's like you go to from being a
well, we done New York earlier this year, which was absolutely class. Like, because I mean, I've been doing it for nearly 8 years now. And after 7 years, you're kind of thinking, yeah, we're probably not going to go over to like America. And then going over there, we've done 3 months on the run. It was just absolutely class, like, just surreal. Looking back to where we started, like, that's probably the best one we've done. But then even doing like Ibiza, we used to do Ibiza once a week, which was class. And like Australia, Dubai.
Well,
it's nuts. Yeah. But still, the best show we still do is Liverpool, though, by a mile.
What, your favourite, or just as the best?
I'd say it's the best. I'd say it's the best and my favourite as well. Just 'cause it's like a home crowd. We started there. And also I can just roll out of bed and go down there and roll back.
Yeah, fair enough. And then the fairy dresses, I want to ask how many do you reckon you've gone through in your however many years it's been?
Quite a lot, you know. I reckon probably 40 to 50.
Are you like a Bart Simpson at home? It's just hundreds of them on a rail.
I've got quite a few at home now. Like, to be fair, like, I'll just wear the same one until it's just like too, like, ripped up kind of thing, and I'll just change. I've had to go up a size recently as well, like, which is a bit of a low point for me career, like, but.
And then, well, I wanted to ask you about the camp and fairness. I know it's obviously it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Can you share anything for the people who aren't aware of that story for us at all?
Just basically, we started there, and they basically just said that they own us.
Yeah.
And we went to court and they don't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I remember the outrage of it, because they like, was it Johnny or all of you, whatever, wanted to perform somewhere else, and they were like, you can't? Is that where it started?
No, I think we wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
Like, we never planned on moving. It was just when it all came about, we were just like, well, we're just going to move then.
Yeah.
Built our own venue.
Yeah.
Well, right over the road.
Yeah. What's it? Content now, and
Content in the Cairns Brewery, yeah.
Yeah. And there's boss in there as well.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah.
That's great.
And like, just a little stat about content. Well, I'm not sure. I might not be. Don't go fact check me on this, but I heard that apparently it's the first purpose-built bingo hall in like about 30 or 40 years. So obviously don't build bingo halls anymore, and obviously built that just for bingo. So,
did you ever go to regular bingo? Did you ever go?
I've been once in my life, and I actually made a false call, and it was the most embarrassing thing in the world. Like honestly, like I just the older women who were there, like for serious bingo, and they're just looking at you like, oh my God, sorry.
There's a mecca not far from me, and I apologise if I'm talking about the opposition. But we've been a few times, and it is it's very different to Bongo's bingo, but at the same time, it is you can see where the fun is. Like that's why it's such a great idea to just take it up another level.
I like that some of our hosts like kind of say if people are struggling like making false calls at the bingo, they'll say like pensioners play this game and they don't have any problems, so why have you got problems keeping up? Like it's very fast paced when you go to a proper bingo hall.
Oh yeah. I got the auto dab on the little iPads to give you now.
Oh no, you've got to play with the pen.
It's too hard. And then I want to ask you said they've been a full-time job, obviously, when you told your dad that. So how many years were you juggling drinking and dressing as a fairy and working, or was it never that?
Oh no, only like 2 months I think.
Oh right, okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I was like kind of doing shows just around me like my work schedule kind of thing. I was just doing different shifts through the week, like that kind of thing. So and then there was a few shows where like I just couldn't get the shift off, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go and do the show anyway. Ring in sick and that. And then I think they were kind of getting onto the fact I was doing that. I was like, oh listen, I don't want to do this anymore.
More fun there.
I want to wear the dress.
And then on content as well, is that where you did the lockdown stuff as well when you did the?
No, so that was literally just over the road. I think there was like 8 of us all together, moved into an apartment, and just started streaming bingo. Just from like probably a room like this size. Yeah. We stuck a couch at the back and like had all the cameras set up. It was class, you know. Yeah. Like just living with the lads. Like everyone else was in lockdown, just on the road, and we were all just living together, having an absolute ball. Like to be fair. So
I was in my mum and dad's house, and my missus moved in with us as well. And that was our ritual. We all loved that so much. So yeah. Thank you for that. It was so good.
People say it all the time. To be fair, like thank you, and I'm like, no, don't thank me. I was having a ball.
No, it was great though, because as you say, it was a bit boring at that time. But I think the big thing was that you couldn't go out and drink, but that felt like your night out.
Yeah, even like there was the odd night where we weren't doing one online, and the people we messaging like, "Can you just do one? Like, I've got nothing else to do."
Not to do here, yeah. There's only so much FIFA you can play. And then obviously you do one a week now. I've written here how long physically, as in brackets, your liver could you do it as much as you were doing it before? So like, what at its height for you? How many nights a week were you doing it?
I think the longest I ever done was 13 nights on the run, and that was including flying to Ibiza, doing a show, flying back in the morning, going back on stage. But yeah, it was good. Like, I mean, I think I slept for about a week afterwards. Like, I reckon I could probably give it a good go. Like, I'm all right once if I carry on going, I'm all right. It's just when I stop that I go, it hits me. Yeah. Like we done IB for a couple of weeks ago, and when we flew home, I was in bed we only went for 2 nights, and I was in bed for 3 nights when I come back. 3 days, sorry, when I come back. It just like hit it that hard, like yeah.
And then so what? Now it's massive, isn't it? You've got a big, massive like office block. It's all around the country and all that. So what's your like day-to-day role in the company? So now?
Off stage, I'm show manager as well, which is like basically I manage all the dancers. I bring in all the dancers. I used to work on managing all the hosts and bringing the hosts in as well and training them, but like it was just got a bit too much. We've got another host, Jimmy Sweeters, took over that role and works alongside me doing that. And just just asked around the office, people kind of ask my opinion on a lot of stuff like marketing stuff, just because obviously I've been there for so long. Because when we started, I think there was only 6 or 7 people in the whole company, and now we've got, I don't know, between 50 and 100, something like that.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's possible, obviously, because you've been there from pretty much the start as well. Yeah. It must be, do you look around when you go in the office and that and just think, how's this happened from where it was? Or
we just moved into the new office, I think it was in April this year, like right on the Albert Dock. It's lovely in there. But we're walking around, I'm like, this looks like we look like a professional outfit now. Like, you know what I mean? After 10 years almost, they finally look like a proper professional company. Like, it's class.
No, that's boss. And then, how do you talent scout people who can dance well in a dress?
You know what? Literally, we'll just throw people on if people are interested. Because believe it or not, like it's quite hard to get people who are interested. Like, if I put stuff on Instagram, people. Like you get like 1 or 2 people might go, oh, and then when it comes to the day of the show, they just go, oh, actually, no, I don't want to do it anymore. But if I'm like out on a night out and I see someone like dancing around a little bit, I'll go over and like say, this sounds a bit mad, but like fancy wearing the dress and getting on stage. Like even like in IB for the other week, we met some lad in a bar, And all his mates were saying, oh, he'd be class. So we got him on the show. We said, this is your trial. So he got him on the stage on the show, and he absolutely smashed it, to be fair. Like, he said he's moving over to Liverpool in November, so I'm going to get him straight on.
That's awesome. I'm sure some people think you're a bit weird asking that question. But
I know.
So the last one on Bongo's Bingo, then, just like, what is the end goal, the dream? What is there a thing that a box you want to tick, or something you want to do in the company, or is it
you know what?
keep doing what you're doing?
I think a personal goal is to just keep going for as long as I can, because I know that this day that I stop going on stage, I'll be absolutely gutted, like, and I'll miss it too much. Like, but I am getting a bit old and the legs are starting to go a little bit. I think I could always train as a host if I wanted to, but I just don't think it'd be the same, because obviously I do the shows with just Johnny and Callum, which are Horny Hardy, every week, and Technical Tom, so we just do every show together. I started doing shows with other people, I'd just be like, this isn't the same anymore. So yeah, because basically every other box has been really travelling around the world. America was a big one, and obviously we've done that now as well. So
that's boss. Well done, and again, I'll say thank you again, because it is boss. I'm sure everyone who's seen, and if they haven't been, you have to go, and it's impossible to get tickets, which says how good it is, really. Months in advance.
I'll do a little plug actually while we're here.
Of course.
We're doing Take That themed shows for Christmas this year. I don't know if you've got any Take That fans who watch this show. Might not be many, like, but yeah, it's gonna be class anyway. So bongosbingo.co.uk. I'm strutting so much.
It's alright. Take that.
Bongo's
Bingo, yeah. Nice one. Yeah, it's sure it's water this time, yeah. Alright, that's fine. Thank you very much, and we're going to talk more about footy in a sec, so we'll see you in a sec. Welcome back to the next section of the Football Historian podcast.
Sorry, Pete, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but where'd you get that shirt from?
Oh, this Latium number's just from Classic Football Shirts. Where'd you get yours from?
Thank you. Mine's from Classic Football Shirts as well.
Wow. Well, when I bought my shirt, I used the code TFH10 to get 10% off all orders. Did you use the same?
I did. I used a discount code. I think it was the same as yours.
Oh, TFH10. Oh, that's great, because if you want to get 10% off all your orders, you can use TFH10 at classicfootballshirts.com.
Unbelievable deal.
Welcome back to the next section. Thank you for not running away. You're an Everton fan, but before we talk about Everton, a player, have you ever played football? What's the best level you've played to?
I wasn't a very good player, to be fair. I was too weak. Like, I could kick a ball. I was all right with the ball at my feet, but I was just too weak. And I'm scared to get kicked as well, to be fair. Like, a bit of a shit house, I'll be honest. Yeah, no, I did like playing, but I was nowhere near as good as the lads that I played with. So it was just a bit of a waste of time. You know, it'd always be like the last picked and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't kick a ball though.
Yeah. Well, I saw Ben Herriot's charity game.
Oh yeah.
You scored.
I'm
trying to be best, like, yeah. So that's the only time I can see you playing football. So
yeah,
is that all you do it now? If it's a big game, if it's something like that?
Yeah. So that was just like a friend who'd passed away. And he'd done like a little charity game. So we went up and played. I think we played at Southport Football Club and played up there. It was like the worst. Like the wind and the rain that day was terrible. I scored an absolute screamer, but like just kicked it. I think it was going well, and the wind just brought it straight back around. It was class.
Yeah,
that was probably my high point ever on a pitch. That, to be fair.
Yeah, I found it perfect.
We've played a few games with Bingo. We played against Bootle FC.
Yeah.
We had I think he used to be on the board there, and obviously we sponsor their shirts. So we've been the last 4 or 5 years. We've done like a charity game against them every year. But I didn't make it this year because I was in bed after night before.
But I was literally going to ask about that later. Like, how did that come about? Was that because you said because your dad there?
Yeah. So I think they were just literally after the sponsor one year. And I think my dad must have mentioned it to me and Johnny at some point, and Johnny was like, yeah, defo. So I think we've been sponsored now for like 6 or 7 years, something like that. Yeah.
But so we had Steve McNulty on, as you said, off camera. His lovely feet on the episode. I went to school with Ben Hodgkinson, who plays for him now. So like, I've always like seen Bootle from the side, and obviously when I saw you sponsor him, so I thought it's a mad relationship. But like, so is that like the what you get out of it is the game there every year? Is that the big thing? Obviously, the sponsorship as well.
Yeah, obviously we're on the shirt. And I think our venue content is on the training gear as well. But no, that was just like a bit of a laugh one day. I think someone had said at the club, do you want to come down and have a little game? Obviously we don't play actual Bootle FC, we play like some of the old players, and like I think they get a few ringers in and that. But like the average age of their team's like probably mid-50s to 60, and we're all like younger lads, and we turn up and they just batter us every time.
Keep going though.
Yeah, honestly, we've done like a charity one. We've done like a game, and then we've done a show afterwards as well. So any proceeds, I think it went just towards the club kind of thing. But yeah, we have it's a good day out there.
And then touching on Everton as well, if you had a box there, also I've seen a few times.
We sit, me and Johnny's, we're in the Prawn Sandwich Brigade. Like,
is that a Bongo's bingo box, or is that just where you sit, or what's
that's just where me and Johnny sit. Yeah. Just go in, have a nice meal before the game and all that. I've done all me's in the glass of seat, you know what I mean? I've moved on from that.
Well, we'll go on to Everton then. Obviously, Everton fan before all the bingo and before everything. Is that your real passion before bingo, do you think?
Yeah, massive Evertonian, massive.
And then how long have you been going the game then?
I think I got my first season ticket when I was about 7 or 8, I think. And then I think I've only ever missed about 3 seasons since then. Yeah.
Awesome. And then what do you reckon the peak for Everton was in your life supporting them so far?
Probably finishing 4th.
Yeah.
That was my favourite season. Like, I think I was only 16 at the time. Like, I went to about 7 or 8 away games that year as well, which is probably the most I've been to in a year. I just absolutely loved it. It's just I think because it had been so bad, especially since I was a kid, and I didn't know anything else. Like, I used to go to the game, we used to get beat every week, but I just loved going. And then when we started winning, I was like, wow, this is class. Like, we had to go a few years there under Moyes as well. Like, some European trips as well. I think I went to watch Everton twice in Europe. They were class as well, like, to be fair. Don't remember much of them, to be fair. But
well, I'm not trying to be harsh, because you are the first Evertonian we've had on here. And I was happy about that fact, because it's the football historian, not the Liverpool historian. I've tried to broaden my horizon, so I am trying, not in a bad way, but how have Everton gone from, I was written down here because I thought this would be glory days, finishing 4th under David Moyes to where they are now. Like, if you could tell the story of what's gone wrong in that time. Or
I think, obviously this is just my opinion, but and it sounds like such a cliche, but getting all the money in was just the worst thing that happened to us, because we just spent the money on absolute rubbish. Like, I don't really know whose fault that was, but just absolute, like, some of the players that we brought in for the fees and the money that we're paying them, and it just absolutely crippled us.
Some of those players being, who would they be?
What, the rubbish ones?
Yeah.
Davy Clarkson is up there. Ashley Williams probably had one good season, to be fair, but I just thought he was terrible afterwards. Just like, I think the players that we brought in before this, like under Moyes, was like championship players who were coming in like hungry and they wanted to play well. The players that we're bringing in, we were giving them fat paychecks, and you could just tell they just weren't arsed. Like, there's a few players who've like played right through that, like the likes of Baines and Coleman were like by far the 2 best players for so long. Obviously they'd been there since before the money came in, and you could just see the difference in like how much they were running, how much they like. You could see like after the game, if we'd been beat, they were like, the other players were straight off the pitch, like not asked.
Yeah, that's obviously hard to watch after
yeah,
seeing that from under Moyes as well. So then, obviously, relegation battles and stuff like that now, you still go in the game as much, watching all that? Is that never going to waver your support?
It'll never waver my support. Like, it is hard to watch, though.
Yeah.
It's just a bit disheartening going every week and just, like, coming away, just like, fuck this.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to upset you, but I was just telling the one.
No, well, to be fair, like, I remember it from when I was a kid anyway. So, like, it hasn't been... Like, for someone who's come in when we were playing well and has had to go down into like the relegation battles, probably just think, "Wow, this is the worst thing in the world." But I remember, even as bad as we've been the last few years, we were even worse when I started going. Like, I remember some of the players in the team, I'd be like, "How they're not even fucking footballers? Like, what are they doing?" But yeah, it is really horrible going and watching and getting beat all the time. But like, yeah, it would never change my support. Like,
yeah. Well, that's the way it should be, I think. But
I think it's mad, because like Liverpool fans especially, I know you've had like tough times where you've finished like 7th and 8th, but like it's horrible being down there. Like, I see like there's always like memes like Liverpool fans like saying like, "Oh, when she asks if you're loyal," and it's like a picture like say Paul Konchesky and all that. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, you don't fucking know the art of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Milan Jovanovic and Paul Konchesky days, but yeah, it's never been quite as bad, thankfully. Well, I know you've said you don't know who is to blame, but I wanted to ask you if you could blame one person for how you go from Champions League qualifier to being in a relegation. But obviously it's over a lot of time, but who do you reckon's been the most responsible for it? Because obviously, time of recording, you've just about to be taken over by new American owners and all that, so I'm sure hopefully you'll be thinking that's a new era for you, but who do you reckon is to blame for why it hasn't worked recently?
I think the easy one to point out would be Mashiri. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs, but obviously from the outside, that's what it looks like to us. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we've had like directors of football but they were the ones bringing the rubbish in. Obviously, Mashiri pumped a lot of money into the club, so you can't like fault him on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just gone a little bit worse instead, especially like the last 18 months where we kind of feel like we haven't got an owner. Like people have been calling for Dice to be sacked, but I'm thinking like, who's going to sack him? Like we haven't really got anyone there to make that decision at the minute because like obviously they just stepped off so much. So yeah, I suppose the answer probably Mashiri. If I had to pick one person,
well, there's a lot of people.
I reckon there's quite a few there. Yeah.
Well, I'll try and cheer you up a bit then. So there's a new trend nowadays on social media of Barclaysmen. So I want to ask you, and I would ask you in the next section about the best players and whatever. It depends how you're taking it.
Okay.
But if you could name the top 3 like cult heroes for Everton, maybe players who aren't necessarily the best, but someone who you just love watching or talking about or whatever.
What, like that I've known?
Yeah, for who you.
Well, obviously Big Dunk. Like he'll always be seen as a cult hero. Like I think with him, I used to get pissed off with it sometimes. Like, I mean, come on, and like you'd be 1-0 down. Remember, there's a game against Charlton away. Must have been like early morning years. He'd come on. I was like, right, he's come on to get us a goal and try and get us a point here. Within like 30 seconds, he turned around and punched him and Rides in the face and got sent off. And I was like, what the fuck is going through your mind there? But yeah, but then looking back at that now, you're like, what a fucking legend for doing that as well. He's definitely up there. Seamus Coleman probably as well, just because like I think it's very rare that you get a player who's come in from somewhere else. He's like wasn't born Evertonian, but he like having met him a few times as well. He is fucking Everton through and through. Like, and you can tell when we get beat, he feels what the fans feel. And obviously you can see the heart he gives on the pitch as well. At the end of the game, he's the one who's like fucking going up to the guys' street, like fucking doing all that fucking stupid clock shite and all that. And cult hero. I loved Tim Cahill. Like, he was just quality. I think even the year when we finished 4th, we didn't have the best team, but like we were just scraping wins. But it was always seemed to be him getting the goals. Yeah, I think he was, and you could just see how much he was working hard on that. He was class. I'd say them 3.
That's fair enough. And then you've already touched on it. You've got a Northern Ireland shirt on. People listening, you don't sound Northern Irish. Can you explain the connection?
The connection is literally just through Johnny. Yeah. Johnny was born in Belfast. When I met him and started like doing bingo with him, and I was obviously so into Everton, and he was a bit like, oh, I want to get into football a bit more because he wasn't that much into it. So me and him started going to the Everton games, and he was like, oh, do you fancy going to a Northern Ireland game? I'd never really followed international footy that much. When I was a kid, I always liked Scotland. And it wasn't like the whole Scouts thing. It was just because Liverpool had so many England players. I was like, I can't fucking support them. And Everton had so many Scottish players, so I followed Scotland. And when once he'd said, like, trying to go and watch Northern Ireland away, I was like, fucking right. Now we think we've been to Oslo, Rotterdam, and we went to Ljubljana in Slovenia last year. They're class. Like, to be fair, the Northern Ireland fans are absolutely class. Yeah. I've been to watch Scotland as well. Absolutely class fans. Like,
did you go to the Euros?
I went to the Euros, yeah.
Was that as a Scotland fan?
Yeah, so my missus is Scottish. So I've met a few Scottish lads through here. So when they were going over the Euros, they were like, oh, you should like come over. And I was like, oh, there's no chance. I went over and it was fucking bouncing. Like, if you've never been to an international tournament, you should go. It's honestly, the atmosphere is unbelievable.
And did he welcome you as a Scouser who's in there?
Anyone who doesn't like England, they're like, fucking, honestly, the Scottish just hate the English. Like, Northern Ireland, when we were there at a game, I think me and Johnny had like, you had to trade, you had to get these coins to like get drinks at the bar. I don't know why you couldn't just use cash, but you had to buy these coins to trade in. And we thought, it's probably going to be like 5 coins and a pint. So we bought like 50 of them. When we got there, it was just one coin, and we were like, oh, fucking hell. So we just traded them all in, just had to give them pints out. I remember I gave one to like a woman, and she was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Obviously, Northern Irish accent. And I was just like, what? She was like, why are you here, a Scouser? And I was like, what fucking... So I get a little bit of stick for it, like, but...
Not bad, like that.
Nah.
I've always thought, because, I'm not an England fan myself either. My granddad, who I never met, was born in Glasgow. He's like fully Scottish.
Oh, yeah?
He was dead before I was born, not like I hate him. Yeah. I've always thought I'd like the idea, because the tournament, all that look so good. But yeah, so you definitely recommend it. Anyone who's maybe Scouts listening and England averse,
yeah, definitely.
There is a home for
honestly,
you.
It was unbelievable there. To be fair as well, I thought there'd be murder between the Scotland and England fans, but like my last night there, we just like took over a big nightclub. It was half English, half Scottish, and just having a good time. Like, but I do want to say as well, like, maybe pick a different team. Like if you've never told me anyway, I've struggled watching Everton for so many years, and now I watch fucking Scotland and Northern Ireland. It's not much better, to be honest. Like, so
pick a good one. Yeah, go be Spanish or something.
Like, what was the other something?
All right, great. Well, the last question, which is a bit against this podcast, is I want to talk about the future. And I just want to ask you: how would you solve Everton? now, if you're put in the job of director of football, chairman, whatever you want to be, you're given the top job at Everton.
What if I could help it?
What are you going to do, or how do they fix Everton? Easy.
I don't know what job I'd do. Like, I'd be shite at them all, to be fair. Yeah, I think the main bit though is the director of football.
Yeah.
I think even just having the right players. Like you look at the likes of the big clubs and you'd say like, oh, anyone can manage there. I think it is like more about the players than the manager. Obviously, the manager can come in and give a bit of a lift, and his tactics can like sort of win the odd game. But you need the players there, and players who care as well. Players who actually they're not just playing for the money, playing for the shirt. I know that's hard to buy, like, but there must be some out there somewhere.
Tolman was cheap enough, so
well, exactly 60 grand.
Yeah,
he's an anomaly though. So,
all right, great. We want to talk about more of your opinions on football in a sec. So we'll see you in a sec. Are you looking for a Kazakhstani football team to support? Then I think FC Keme is a team you should support. Do you agree?
Growing up as a child, I always had FC Keme posters on my bedroom wall.
Well, and all the children of the Kazakhstani future will have FC Keme posters on their wall because FC Keme is the team to support, and because of that, Tom has made us a chant that we're all going to follow. So,
up the Keme, da 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 da. Up the Keme, da 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 da.
Up the Keme. Make sure you follow them on all the social medias. All the posts and all the things you should follow will appear below us and right here. You should be a supporter of FC Keme.
Live, laugh, Keme.
Hello, welcome to the third section. I want to talk about football history. Let's start off with your first memory of being an Everton fan.
My first memory would be the '95 Cup final. I don't really remember much before that. I just remember that was a big day. I had the blue nose on. Yeah, I don't remember much of the game either. But when I was a kid, I lived in a pub. My dad used to run a pub, and obviously he had the game on, and it was just like absolutely buzzing in there. And obviously, I think we won. I reckon if we got beat, I wouldn't really remember that because we won. Like, so I'm just glad I remember winning a fucking trophy.
Yes. How old were you then?
I was 5.
Yeah. My first one is 2001 when the FA Cup's are similar, like you're really like 5, 6 or whatever. But so you just something good must have happened type vibe when it. But it's a good one to remember.
Yeah, definitely.
I won't say anything like most Everton fans don't remember anything. Like
I'm just glad I remember one. Like, you know what I mean.
And then, what's the best Everton game you've ever been to or seen? 95 FA Cup. Sorry.
I'll say what I was there for. Do you mean like one?
Up to you. Take it whichever either can be the most important or the one you enjoyed the most or whatever.
There's a few I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed the year. I feel like I keep going on about 2004, 2005. But when we actually secured the Champions League qualification, I was at home against Newcastle. I think it was 2-0. It might have been 3. I just remember like the whole season. Obviously, we were doing well, and everyone's like, we were kind of like all singing all season, we're going to win the league, and that we didn't really believe it. And then as it got a bit closer towards the end, we were like, oh, fucking hell, we might actually get in the Champions League here. And just on that game, like, I think we'd pretty much already guaranteed it, but like actually just like mathematically guaranteeing it was like, fucking hell, like what a season that was, kind of thing. Yeah. And also when I went to Wembley the first time as well, beating United on penalties. I know it wasn't like, it was like the scruffiest penalties ever, but just being in Wembley and winning and being like, fucking hell, like, just because like as I was saying before, we haven't experienced much like that, not in my lifetime anyway. So yeah, just stands out a lot. Like,
it's always good when you play an orphan team then as well, and you come back and see them in the services all the way home, and you just
give them the grief all the way down.
That's always a good one. And what maybe you've kind of already touched on it. What do you reckon the best era of football is? So it doesn't have to be as an Everton fan, but obviously it'll be through Everton eyes. But what's the best era in football? It could be today. Could be the 2004-05.
What do you mean the quality? I mean,
what's your favourite? So however you want to look at it in that way, it could be
football
the best.
In general. Everton's football in general.
Yeah,
I liked the late 90s, early 2000s when like you could still make a tackle. I seen like in a story the other day, a news story saying like whatever happened to the screamer, because obviously all the football's just gone like so ticky-taka now and like trying to pass the ball into the net. But just like seeing like the likes of like Two-Guy or Morton Gams Pedersen or Billy Lettinov just banging a goal in 40 yards, like those days, like we need them back.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too much. I think since they've said that, I swear like Barnes scored the boss goal and then that Calafiori scored the boss one.
I thought you were mentioning that John Duran one against Everton the other day as well.
No, I wasn't
screamer.
Sorry. Right, the next one that you have hopefully prepared. You don't have to have. But here, the top 5 Everton players of all time. And again, you can add whatever caveat you want. But that's the question.
So I'm going to say mine, and obviously I've seen like a lot of the other lads on podcasts before was saying like only in their like sort of time they've been on the game. So my top 5 would be Duncan Ferguson, just for like not even the quality of his football, just the moments like looking back and going, fucking hell, remember when he strangled Stefan Frein? Like. But obviously, like some of the moments as well, like, he used to bang goals against Liverpool. And the night when we beat United 1-0 as well, and he scored, it was just class. Like, he gave us like some boss moments, and just the way he was as well, like with the fans, like. So he's probably number 1. Number 2, Tim Cahill. I just absolutely loved him. Like, I had him on the back of my shirt every year and that. Yeah, like I think because we'd been so bad for a few years, and then seeing a player who just come in and just like absolute quality, like, and just scoring goals all the time. So he goes up there. I'll have to refer to my list here. I try to memorise them. Oh, Kevin Campbell.
Yep.
Loved him when I was a kid. I think, again, like when we were so bad, he'd just always pop up with a goal. I think it just showed that his quality. Like, the team around him, just awful, and like we couldn't defend ever. When the rare occasion when we kept a clean sheet, he'd always pop up with a goal. Like, when my dad used to talk about Bob Latchford from his time, like he used to compare him to him. So he's up there. This is a bit of a rogue one. Gareth Barry. I just absolutely loved him. He was just class. I remember when we signed him, I was thinking, oh, he's over the hill, him. But just the way he played, like, he wouldn't take players on. He'd just turn around and his arse was that big. They just couldn't get around to the other ball. And I was like he's just so clever using his body in that way. Like, yeah, I thought he was class. And you could see, like, I remember when he first went to City, and I was like thinking, that's such a, like, they've got all that money and they've signed Gareth Barry. And then when I seen him play, I was like, fair enough, I understand when they got him. And the last one I went for was Seamus Coleman. Just because, just a stalwart, like, just quality, to keep going for so long as well. And to stick with us as well, like, you know, we had opportunities to leave and go to United and stuff like that, which was his boyhood club. And he stayed. He would never, like, push, like, you know, he didn't try and force for a move or anything like that. And just consistency. It's just been absolutely quality. Even now, I think he's still our best right back. Like, I think he's 36 or something like that, and he's still our best right back. Like, so.
Yeah, but that's, as you said before, connection with the fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So much as a fan.
What's the thing? Like, obviously, that kind of makes you a bit biased because you go, oh, like, he loves us, so we love him, kind of thing. But yeah, I think like his quality as well over the years.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
And I'm not obviously on Gareth Barry as well. Obviously, James Milner coming to Liverpool. It's
not
similar.
half the player that
But all I'm saying is they both played for Man City when they were at the pub. Like, those type of players. I remember watching Milner for England and thinking, how's he going to get for them? And then he comes to Liverpool and you're like, oh, what a player he should be playing. So
just like a workhorse as well.
You realise that they actually are quite good, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's why they both played the most 2 games and all that, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then the next one is the top 5 non-Everton players of all time.
Go on, I'm going to have to refer to this because I forgot about this one.
Right.
My favourite player of all time is Cristiano Ronaldo. I just think he's quality. Like, I think I've watched him when he first come through and like all the stick he was getting, and he was just diving around and then getting kicked and all that, and just the way he changed his game from that, and like he's just become, like, obviously made himself a bit stronger, and he's just so, like, I remember like watching him in the Premier League, like when he used to do those what they call it, like step overs. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on? But like, to be fair, like, he was quality. When you see, and obviously when he got to his best with United and then went to Madrid and was just unbelievable. I know he's a bit of a bell end as well, like these last few years, but he's let himself down a little bit. But like, I think just looking back to what he was like at Madrid in his prime, absolutely class. Alan Shearer, I just loved him as a kid. I don't even know why, especially because he didn't even like England. Hated Newcastle as well, but just like, I think just because I've seen him so much on the telly, it was just always him, like, scoring goals. Yeah, I just thought he was class. I loved him to comfort out and like. Another one, which is I think this is a bit of a strange one for the Scouser to say, but David Beckham. I just loved him when I was a kid. I don't even know what it was. His face. I don't know. No, I don't know. He was just class. I think just because he was everywhere as well. When I was a kid, I kind of watched a bit of England, like in the tournaments and all that. I always remember the goal against Greece. I just thought he's just, I don't know. There was just something about him I loved. I didn't like United, but I admired their team as well. Like, they were so good back in the day, and I always like looked at him and just thought, because he takes a lot of stick. People are saying, "Oh, he wasn't even a great footballer." I'm like, he would never have got like the image and like as big as he did if he wasn't a good footballer. But I think he was class.
And you look who he's played for and all that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That
I think he used to have some absolutely class games at Goodison as well. I think he scored his last ever game for United. He scored a free kick against us, and I was just like, like you're just like unstoppable kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry as well. Just a lot of my players are just from the Premier League because because I watched them so much. Yeah, I just thought he was absolutely class. Like, not even just his goal scoring ability, but even like little things like when he scored the back heel goal, and like I just don't know. I just thought he was class. Like I think the Arsenal side, the Invincibles and all that, they would never even got close to it without him in the team and his goals. And the last one I couldn't decide on. I was split between Zlatan and Rooney. Obviously Rooney in his United years, not 11. Zlatan just for his, I can't even think of the word, just the way he was. Like he's just like he knew his confidence kind of thing. He knew how good he was. Yeah. That goal he scored against England, the overhead kick. Like I think players who have like moments like that where it's stick in your memory and you go, "Fucking hell, not only did he do that, he was absolutely class as well." Like his full game. And I just thought Rooney was absolutely class as well. I know I've gone for 6 there, like, but
that's fine. I'll take Rooney off here because he's an Everton player.
I forgot a bit enough.
No, that's fine. And then an all-time five-a-side team. So it can be Everton, it can be anyone. You can have yourself in there. You can do whatever you like.
I can't afford to be outside the box here.
Okay.
I didn't just go for like the 5 best players. I was thinking, if you're on a little 5-a-side pitch, these little tiny goals, who are the players who are actually going to do well there? So there's a few random shouts in here.
Okay.
I started with R9. Obviously just standard, like his quality. Put the ball in the net for however long. How long's a 5-a-side game?
Half an hour, an hour.
He'd probably score 12, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? But Yannick Bolasie.
Okay.
And this is as pal as she is. I've never known a player to just be able to take a player on, like standing right in front of him, and he'd just get it round him. So I think a player like that on a 5-a-side pitch would be absolutely invaluable. Like, and I went for Moussa Dembele from Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because he was just an absolute tank. Yeah, like just box to box, strong as anything, tackle, score goals, pass the ball. I think he'd be absolutely class. If there was one Everton player that got signed over the years, it would have been him. Yeah. I just thought he'd have been unbelievable.
Yeah, he was good. Boss of his piece,
yeah. He should have played for a better team than Tottenham. Like, Rio Ferdinand at the back, just Rolls Royce, isn't he? Absolutely class. Like, and I put him for Petr Cech in goal, but that's because, well, he's class anyway. Obviously, he plays hockey now. He plays in goal for hockey, and have you seen the size of their goals? So he can play in a 5-a-side goal, definitely. Like, I just thought Petr Cech, the best goalie of all time. He was unbelievable at Chelsea. Yeah.
Was this pre-head guard days or post when he's in your goal?
Preferred him pre-head guard.
Yeah, okay.
I hated that. I said, I don't even know why. I could see him on a game and you'd be like, can I take that off his head?
And then a super sub I can throw in there.
Probably Rooney.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He'd probably be wanting to be playing ahead of Yannick Bolasie, I'm guessing, but that's fine. You can put United.
Bolasie's one of those. He's one of those streets you won't forget players, isn't he?
But we've had a shout for Lee Trundle in there before, and he replied to the clip on it. So I think you're always best to try and get someone who's more likely to reply, because then you've got a chance of meeting.
All right, then I'll say Lee Trundle then. He was class, to be fair. I saw we signed him a footy manager.
He's a streets don't forget player.
Yeah.
And then the last one on this section before we go into a debate is, who is the greatest football manager of all time?
That sounds like a debate question.
Well, I know, yeah, but I keep doing it on this one, and I'm warming you
up. The
manager,
I'd probably say Ferguson. I think just because of how long he was there and like the transition between the teams and stuff. Like obviously they had them so good in '99, and when that team sort of got old and went, and then he just built them up just again, like with the likes of Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney. Yeah, I got, obviously there's like that Ancelotti. I think Mourinho's quality. Obviously Guardiola in recent years. But yeah, Ferguson for me. Like,
I think that's a fair shout. All right, that's great then. Well, we're gonna have our last break, and then we're gonna settle the biggest debates in football history. So we'll see you in a sec.
Hi, I'm Warren, the producer for the Football Historian Podcast, and we're here today to talk to you about the Patreon subscription.
Yes, so for just £1 a month for the first 100 people, there's a lot of benefits that you get, and I think £1 is a terrific deal.
Pittance, yes,
£1 only, and you get early access, which means at least 24 hours before everyone else gets the episode, you get to watch it. There's also an extra section, we call it the Football Historian Podcast Extra Time, and we ask all the questions to the guests that no one else gets to see unless you're a patron. And on top of that, you're the ones who get to ask the questions. You send them in, we tell you which guest is going to be coming and sitting in this chair. You ask them, we record it, you get to watch it. No one else does. On top of that, we do a monthly special. We did one last night. It was a quiz. You were there.
Yeah, bedlam and great content.
Yeah, so hopefully you can watch that. As I said, we've got a round on Linvoy Primus or Lionel Messi. We've done mastermind stuff, all that. That's going to happen every month. The bigger this grows, we're going to do it even more regularly. Hopefully it'll be once a week. But we need your support. So to do that, £1 a month for the first 100 people. Your early support will be rewarded. From then on, it's £3 a month if you want to support us. If you want to pay £5 a month, you get all that we've just mentioned, but you get a poster. Warren will sign it, I'll sign it, all the lads. We'll get a few of the guests to do it as well. We'll send that out to you. And then for £10 a month, you get all that, the poster, all the early access, and you get a free copy of any of my books. So I've done one on Billy Liddell, Crossing the Park, Tommy Lawrence. They're all worth at least £20. For just £10, you get a copy of the book, all the stuff we've already mentioned. We'd really appreciate your support. We cannot do this without you.
This really is a passion project, and anything people can put into it goes straight back into it. We don't take a wage. We're doing this for free. We're doing this because we enjoy what we do.
That's it. It all makes the content better. And I say from just £1 a month, you can make our dreams come true. Thanks for the support. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
The debate.
Welcome to the final section. I'm going to settle the biggest debates. So, Cole, the first question for you, and I'm very interested in what you're going to say on this as the first Everton fan. Gerrard, Lampard, or Scholes, and can you put them in order?
Well, let's just take Gerrard straight out of the equation. I think it's very hard as an Everton fan to like Gerrard in any way. We just hated him, and do you know why we hated him? Because he was so fucking good. Like, to be honest, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to even put him near it. Like.
3/3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably go Lampard top, just because it was goals. Like, I love Scholes as well. Scholes was absolutely quality. But I just think Lampard was just like, to score that many goals in midfield is just like unheard of. Like, yeah. So it would be Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard.
So you picked the Everton manager first, the Liverpool player
Oh,
last.
fuck it. You know what? I didn't even like put that.
That's fair enough. Right, the next one then is a bit of a tougher one, but Pele or Maradona?
Pele. I just think Maradona was a bellend. Didn't he just come across as a bellend, I thought?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, nah, I could never like Maradona. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's outside of football reasons. I know he was absolutely quality. I just always thought like he just looked like an absolute tit. Like the way he got on, his arrogance and that. Whereas Pele was just like an absolute gent. I've never met him like before. Yeah, I think it's goals and that. I've never really liked Argentina either. So I'm going to go for Pele.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fine. It's the closest debate we have, so good. I like it. Next one, I think I know what you're going to say from previous comments. Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, Ronaldo for me. I know Messi's absolutely unbelievable as well. I think with me, again, it's a bit of bias. I never really liked Barcelona either. I don't even know why. Never liked Barcelona. I never liked Argentina. So it took me for years. I was always like, why is he fucking shite? And then when I watched them like the last say 10 years, I was like, oh no, he's unbelievable. But still Ronaldo for me. I think, like I said, like before, and it sounds like such a shite like sort of argument, but I think because Messi seems like natural talent and Ronaldo's worked hard to get there, I think that's why I've just always liked him more. I don't know, because he's fit as well.
Okay, great. If Messi and Ronaldo are the best two players of the last 15, 20 years, who is the third best behind them?
That's an hard one. I think obviously the likes of players that were up there in the Ballon d'Or, like Modric and Benzema and all that, I think they were quality when they won it, but I feel like theirs was more over like a couple of 2 to 3 or 4 years. I think the likes of like, obviously Rooney was there for a long time, like absolutely smashing it. I loved Gareth Bale. I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. Like, I thought he was absolutely class. And I feel like players you kind of you can remember the performance, like him against Inter Milan for Tottenham and that, and the Champions League final, and the game against like Barcelona where like he fucking ran off the pitch and just ran right round and scored. I thought he was absolutely class. I'd probably say him. I don't like the likes of Neymar and all else, and Busquets and all that get mentioned, but not for me.
Players, yeah.
Not, yeah, exactly. That's probably why I don't like them, actually. Yeah, I'd say Bale.
Yeah, he was good. It's that time at Tottenham as well, obviously, looking at Suarez and how good he was, and it actually was a competition for who was the best player in the league, and like they comfortably would have won. Suarez and Bale. It was a debate at one time, though, was it? I think, and then if either of them have that season where they were both running for Player of the Year, they win it 90% of the other years, but they both just. Like that season, Bale just seemed to score 40, 50 yard screamers.
I think like Suarez is another player that we just hated.
Yeah,
obviously because he was so good. Yeah. But because he was so good, and to be fair, because he was just, he was worse than Maradona. I remember I had when he bit Ivanovic in that game, and I had Chelsea to win. I think was it 1-1 in the end?
And it was 2-2. Yeah,
Oh,
we scored like a last minute equaliser.
I must have had 2-1, and I had 2-1. I think I had the first goal scored in the game. I can't remember who it was now, but and obviously he bit Ivanovic, stayed on, and then scored the equaliser, I think, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I think he assisted Sturridge. Remember, we all came out bouncing like we just drew, and then no one was talking about the fact that we got the results, we got the last one, and it was all just about that.
That was terrible, though, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, you can see it, the match, but it was.
Did you see the weekend the
Owen Beck getting bit? Yeah,
so obvious as well. Yeah. And then even like afterwards, you can see he just wants to kill him.
Yeah, and he's going to the ref, I've been bit, he just sends him off.
Paul Mull as well last week, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's grown in the game. That's good. Look out for the next one. So the next question then I want to go for is what Northern Ireland or Scotland? That's not the question, but that is also a good question for you.
I'd have to go Northern Ireland.
Okay, so you can win the captain of Northern Ireland to win the World Cup, or captain of Everton to win the Premier League. It's club or country, but
to be honest, I'd captain Everton to win the fucking League Cup at this stage. I just want to win something. Like, yeah, no, it'd be Everton. Although I'd have a better party if Northern Ireland fans, to be fair. But definitely Everton. Just I wouldn't even. I'd sit on the bench and just watch, like as the kit man or something. Just anything. Got definitely an easy one for us. That like
perfect. Most coaches are picking the club route. That's fine. And then goalkeepers, Buffon, Casillas, and Neuer.
Oh, I'd say Casillas. I thought he was absolutely class at Real Madrid for so long. Do you know what? Right, I know Neuer's class, but I don't know why. I've just never really thought him. I've never considered him like up there with the rest of them. Buffon was obviously unbelievable, and how long he played for as well. But it'd be Casillas for me.
Yeah, and then there was Neuer third, then and Buffon second. Fair enough.
I don't even know why though. I know Neuer's class. I just never ever really thought about him.
All right. Well, the last question then is an easy one. Who's the greatest football team ever? So again, it can be for a game, it can be for a season, it can be a tournament, whatever, however long you want to make it. But who's the greatest football team ever?
Greatest football team ever. Invincibles would be up there. I looked at the Chelsea side. I think it was like 05, 06 maybe, and they had like Carvalho, Makelele, Essien, Lampard, Terry, obviously Peter Cech. I can't remember who played up front of them. Crespo maybe.
Yeah, Drogba. Crespo, probably the young Drogba.
I don't think Drogba was there then.
Yeah. But Kesman.
Oh no, can't mention music, can you? No, actually, to be fair, the Spain, I think it was the 2010 World Cup squad. I thought that was unbelievable. Like, like just so many of the best players in the world, like all just playing in the same team together.
Like those Barca players.
Yeah, there's ones that I hate. But like watching them in a different team was alright.
Torres scoring the goals and Xavi and Iniesta.
So Torres is probably the only Liverpool player that I actually liked when he played for Liverpool. I just thought he was absolutely class. I went to remember the first time I went to Anfield. You think he's beat us 1-0. He scored in like the third minute, but he was just so strong, and like players just bouncing off him and all that. I could not understand how he went so downhill when he left.
Oh yeah,
weird.
Couldn't have been a better time to sell him, I think. But
yeah.
Right, well, that ends our chat on football. Thank you for settling the biggest debates for us. What do you want to plug? If you want to try and say take that again, you're welcome to. Or if there's anything else you want to plug or share.
Try and say it again. You're not like I'm not going to sell on you.
No, you were saying tic tac or whatever you were saying. That was wrong.
Yeah, no, we take that shows at Christmas. We do like, I think I've got 12 shows in December, which is absolutely going to kill me off. Like, to be fair, but they're going to be good shows. Are you coming down?
I'd love to, yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of guest list there on the table.
Well, we came 2 New Year's Eve ago, and I had a really dodgy pint at the match the day before, and I couldn't get out of bed. No. That would have been bad, though, wouldn't it? No, it was an outfit in the sand. It was the worst pint I've ever had in my life. So I missed it, and then we went again the year after, so we have done it. But I'm getting married this New Year's Eve, so it'll have to be a different time. But I'm sure we can talk about this
off the party. But anyway, I'll try and say the website properly this time. It's www.bongosbingo.co.uk.
Perfect.
Guardalola.
/Guardalola, yeah. All right, that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
No worries.
And I'll say it again. If anyone who hasn't been to Bongo's Bingo, you've got to go.
Definitely get down. My legs look class in the dress, like.
Yeah, I'm not saying mainly not just for you, the whole event, but yeah, you're a little finishing touch that makes it all better. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching at home.